Good morning. Welcome to the Business Spotlight series. I'm with Nik Kerr from HRV Enterprises. How are you doing, Nick?
Yeah, good. Thank you. Good morning.
Fantastic. Thanks for making the time to talk to us.
You're welcome.
So, Nick, to get us going, do you want to tell us a bit about yourself, what you do, and how long you've been doing it?
Yeah, sure. So I'm originally from New Zealand. I've lived in the UK for around about 19 years. I'm 42, so I'm just about halfway in each side of the globe. We have a company called HRV Enterprises, as you stated, and primarily there's a couple of other companies attached to it, but primarily they're all focused around helping people with ventilation systems in a domestic sense within their homes, helping the home breathe right and create healthy environments. Yeah, we're based out of Richmond, Southwest London, and service the London and Greater London area, but sometimes we reach further afield, but predominantly that's our space we operate in.
Brilliant. Nick, what would you say really makes you stand out in terms of your proposition for customers that differentiate you from your competitors in your sector?
Right. I would have to say that's our sense of team and the team. We work very much like a sports team, acquiring the best people that in the game with the knowledge and experience in an industry that's blown up reasonably quickly over the last 10 to 15 years. The importance of your home breathing and air tightness within homes has sprung up very quickly as a solution to eradicate damp and other problems like that in the UK. So the pool of resource of knowledgeable people and installers is a very small pool. And what we stand out for doing is making sure that we have a team of people that between us will have the answers for a lot of the unknowns. That's our USP. We like to think that between the group, we have the answer to solve the problem.
Okay, great. And who are your typical customers?
Our typical customers are large UK builders like Berkeley Homes, Durkin, Bugler, Barrett's Homes, right down to Mr. and Mrs. Jones that might be building their dream home, a grand design type project, or even a refurbishment and an extension, down to we often do high-rise apartments in the Greater London area, and the project may be 900 apartments. In comparison, one of our other projects may be an extension onto an existing house and a bathroom and a larger kitchen. So,
Although you were telling me you got, sorry to cut across you, you were telling me you got separate channels to reach those different.
That's right. Yeah, we sort of established that to be the most help that we could be to the public. We identified 4 sort of sectors within our genre, and that was the installation. So we call that a projects division, helping people with their build. We've got the aftercare and service maintenance side of things. Often we need fabricated parts, so we have a fabrication warehouse and production centre down in the south coast near Portsmouth. And most recently, we've evolved to providing one and all of these services to people, a more DIY type market online, through a business that we launched just shy of 2 years ago.
Okay, great. So it's a real portfolio around HVAC.
Yeah,
okay.
That's right.
Super. All right, a bit more about you, Nick. If you've got a person in mind who you associate with your success, who might that be?
Oh, I'm not too sure if I have one person. I've drawn off my life from a lot of good role models, and continue to do so. Reading more these days than I have since school, and the wealth of knowledge that comes from that is helping me a lot. So there's a variety of new lessons learned there from a variety of people. I like forward thinkers. Some of the mainstream sort of ones that I sort of find myself open-eared to is people like Richard Branson and Elon Musk, and people that sort of like have a big dream that for most people would seem impossible, but they just sort of slug away at it piece by piece and get it over the line. And I like that idea. So
Great.
anyone who sort of lives by that mantra has got my sort of my interest.
Inspired by big visionaries. Excellent.
Yeah.
All right. And what's your journey been like to date as a business owner?
It's been a lot of work. Enjoyable for the most part, but a lot of full steam ahead. We are a self-funded group of companies, and that at times has made cash flow tight. And when cash flow is tight, many people will be able to relate that causes stress, and so those sort of things could be that and are challenges. But we've overcome them so many times that they're sort of part of the process now. But ultimately, I'm proud of where the companies are, and what we do for people. We're still got some way to go, but it's been enjoyable for the most part.
Great. And
rewarding.
And some more recent challenges that you've overcome?
And for more recent challenges, and what we're finding, as I mentioned, I touched on it a little bit earlier, with the small pool of resource and experience in our sector, we often and continue to have challenges around hiring and success, great candidates and applicants, and so that's a challenge that we face regularly. That's sort of it. Obviously, we had COVID, and that was a challenge for everyone in the world. And navigating through that was something that I think most business owners will never forget. Hopefully, it's the only time we'll have to go through something like that. But yeah, we're sailing ahead.
Excellent. Great. And what would you say some of the biggest lessons learned, or give me maybe one or two key learnings?
I think best lessons learned is to build a team. Doing it, I've seen more progress with expansion and getting help, and I mean that on every sense, whether it's on not just on the payroll, but coaching, if it's talking to friends and or people that could offer advice, networking, or hiring or business partners. I think these things helpful to share the load, and also to help complement weaknesses and strengths and places. And I think when that's done right, it's powerful.
Like that message, don't be afraid to ask for help.
Yeah.
Right. Excellent. All right. And what does the future look like, Nick, for you?
Contrary to the UK news and things that we're building, there's a lot of building, and so we're quite busy on our project side. The conversation around air quality has been larger than it ever has been. So we're able to help people on a far greater level now, finding that people are hunting out the information that we can provide for maintaining and servicing the products that they have had in the homes that they've bought. And that was many years ago a challenge that we knew was our biggest challenge, was how do we reach these people in a time where it's not spoken about enough, and how do we do that on a budget? And if there is any silver lining in something like COVID for our business, I think that is one. It got the message being spoken about, and we certainly have helped many more people since in that side of things. So, yeah, I see it's HVAC is still a very relevant and important part of the way we build our indoors. People spend more time indoors than we ever have, and although I'm all in favour of being outdoors, that's just the way that it's moving. So it's important to make sure that we take care of those environments and can be as healthy as possible. So I think we've got a big job ahead of us. It's continuing to follow the trend, and where people need us, we'll be there.
Right. Anything else inspiring you now as you move forward?
Well, it's sort of trying to make sure that everyone, the team's healthy, make sure that we're finding time for not just work. And I think well-being is an important topic, particularly for me at the moment. And that's a message that I'm trying to permeate through the company and as a culture. So we'll see what the future holds. We're just trying to put that at the forefront of our team, take care of the team, and the team will take care of you.
Nice. What advice, if anything, would you give to anyone starting in business now?
My advice would be to look at the numbers. If that's not your strong point, and it wasn't mine, and continues to be an area of work, but I would say the sooner you admit that, if that is the case for you, and I know statistically that is the case for a lot of entrepreneurial type people, I would say the sooner you look that beast in the eye and start dealing with that and getting a look at the numbers and understanding things like P&L and expenses and profit and net profit, the better you'll be off in the long run, because just sort of getting on with your day-to-day business and having what's left at the end, it's hard. It makes it hard. And so that would be my advice. Look into the numbers, get some help in that area, as well as doing what you're good at. Just even if it's a little bit as you go, make sure you don't take your eye off the ball in that area. It's important.
And what about your personal development? What's your journey look like?
Yeah, personal development this year. I continue with my readings, my learnings, and applying that to my day-to-day. I am looking to challenge myself physically a bit more this year. Signed up for a charity walk at the Three Peaks in Yorkshire later in the middle of the year. So looking forward to that. With an objective to sort of continue that every year. Kilimanjaro is something I've always wanted to do, and some challenges yet unknown. But yeah, for me, it's a physical test again. I think the last 10 or so years as HRV's been growing, my physical side has been sacrificed unintentionally. But yeah, that's where I'm giving a little bit of focus at the minute.
Great, giving yourself more balance. All right.
Yeah.
Finally, if you were to give the best advice to 18-year-old you, what would that be?
you can do it. Some action is better than inaction. Give it a try. Not everything works. Not everything will work out as you planned, and you are going to fail. Some things you have to park, but just give it a go, and sooner better than later.
Great message to wrap up this interview with. Nik, if anyone wants to get in touch, find out more about you or HRV, what's the best way?
You can find us online at hrv-group.com, and there's plenty of ways to get in touch that way. Feel free.
Brilliant. Thanks for your time and your input.
Thank you very much.